You go on vacation, have a great time, only to have something go wrong. Epically wrong. At least 6 people who recently visited Las Vegas can relate to that. They've come down with Legionnaire's disease, a serious and sometimes deadly illness. Now, health workers are trying to figure out if there are any other people that possibly were sickened. Specifically, they want to hear from people who stayed at the Aria Resort between June 25th and July 4th in Vegas. In the meantime, we want to hear from you. The worst horror story from your vacations. I mean, so many of us took so many trips, you know, growing up as kids.
Yeah.
I mean,
something always goes wrong, doesn't it?
It seems like that.
I've never had a bad experience. What? No, I haven't.
I've gotten into a car
lucky.
accident on vacation. That was
wow.
not fun at all. You know those things you put on top of the roof that carry the luggage?
Yeah.
I drove through a parking garage with one of those.
And it took it off?
Banging. It just it was banging
dork.
it. And I looked at my wife. I was dating my wife at the time. I go, what is that noise? Then we realized it was the thing on top of the car.
Oh,
my dad was
man.
not happy, by the way.
Of course not.
Well,
But
a lot of not.
You've got a really good story.
Yeah, well, a few. I mean, long story short, when I was a kid, we were taking a long cross-country road trip. We broke down in Holbrook, Arizona for like a week. So was stuck there playing Frisbee in the parking lot of a motel for a week. And then also, my husband and I went on our honeymoon a year after we got married because we didn't, you know, have the money to go right away. And we went to Hawaii. We were living in El Paso at the time. So we had to backtrack to Houston in order to get a flight into Honolulu. And we were delayed. There was a massive rainstorm. They left our luggage out on the tarmac the entire time. So we get to Honolulu and get our bags, and we take them off the carousel, and they're dripping wet. Just sopping wet. It's crazy. It was
my
nuts. And we
gosh.
almost missed the boat. I mean, it was a nightmare. And once we got on the boat, I got seasick. I mean, it was hell.
Oh, man. Well, a lot of you have some similar stories or rivaling travel horror stories. Jessica Radomski writes, worst thing that ever happened, went to Disneyland for my cousin's birthday. The day of her birthday, her brother got 3rd-degree burns from coffee and had to go to the hospital.
Oh, no.
Maggie Shaw says, my friend and I flew from
Kauai?
Kauai to Maui for the weekend. I should know that. I haven't been there. From Kauai to Maui for the weekend and met some cute guys who ended up stealing our return plane tickets and money from our hotel room.
Oh, my
How could they use the
gosh.
tickets?
I don't know.
Well,
Bradley
it's been a while
Cisco
ago.
says, crashed in a moped in Fiji with my newlywed wife sitting behind me, $500 in damage, and scraped up pretty good.
Sandy Overman says, being in the happiest place on earth, and everyone we were traveling with came down with a bad case of the flu. One by one, we all went down. Worst vacation ever.
It seems like a lot of bad things happen at Disneyland. Or is it just me?
Well,
When I was a kid, I got lost at Disneyland and ended up in the Lost and Found watching reruns of DuckTales for like 3 hours.
that's a good show.
Was that a nightmare or did you have fun?
No,
That doesn't
it was,
sound like a
it was
nightmare.
it was a nightmare.
Sounds like a great time to me. I've never had a bad time at Disneyland. I'm going to tell you that right now.
No.
Hey, John Patterson says, dang, I never get anything in Vegas.